Apple just announced the Vision Pro, and this is Apple's very first AR headset. And in this video, I'll be telling you all the specs of it, all the features and its use cases, and also my opinion on why I think this here is an amazing product in the long run. So without wasting any time, let us begin. Now, starting off with the specs, the displays here are two micro OLED displays with 23 million pixels combined. So basically this is a high resolution 4K display with 3 element lens inside. Now, as for the processor powering it, this is the Apple M2 CPU, so it is going to be a very powerful CPU, but running in parallel with the M2 is a brand new chip called the R1. Now, as I said, this will run in parallel with the M2 chip in order to process other tasks like rendering the images quicker than a blink of an eye, and this will definitely help reduce things like motion sickness and stuff like that. Now, there are only two physical controls here. One is a button and a digital crown, and the rest of the control depends on your vision, gestures and voice, which I'll talk about soon. Now, it also comes with a speaker baked in with support for spatial audio. Now, as for the software, it runs on a brand new OS called Vision OS. So it's designed around new ways of interaction and should provide seamless integration between all the other Apple products. But I will talk about this OS if I get the chance to experience this product. But in this video, I'll definitely be talking about the features that you will be getting with Vision OS. So please watch that. Now, there's a new form of login called Optic ID. So the cameras inside will scan your retinas for a secure login. Now, finally, of course, if you talk about the cameras and sensors, there are loads of them outside and inside. So this should, allow the Vision Pro to be highly accurate. Now, moving on to the features. Now, since this is an entirely new product category, Apple has come with a new term for this sort of computing, and it is called spatial computing. So just like personal computers, now you have spatial computing, or in future it might products like these might be called as spatial computers. We don't know, but let's see. But spatial computing is a term. Now, the main mode of interaction here is through your eyes, hand gestures and voice. So there are cameras that will detect the motion of your eyes and will guide the virtual pointer to where you're looking at, and you can interact with that particular app or window with your hand gestures. And you can also use your voice in the search bar or to access Siri. Now, I don't know how seamless it is going to be, all these hand gestures and your eye movement and stuff like that. I mean, knowing Apple, they would have refined it a lot, but still we'll have to wait and watch to see how refined it looks. But this is a pretty cool way of interacting with it. No fidgety controllers or stuff like that. So that's great. And one good thing I like here is that you're not limited to only one app at a time. So you can launch multiple apps side by side, and you can even control their position or size with simple hand gestures. So here you can expand the size of any window by a simple look at the edge and a pinch hand gesture. This will either increase or decrease the size of that window, and this will be particularly good for watching movies, a very big format. But since these are AR glasses, you can of course see the environment around you. And say you're watching a movie with the Vision Pro and you have a distracting environment, then you have environments to deal with the distraction. So once you enable environments, it is literally going to cover up your entire field of view. So your movies will be a part of that new environment, and you can also adjust the field of view of the environment with a crown. So no more distracting movie watching scenarios. Now, the really good thing I like about this new OS is that the apps or the windows that you're looking at interact with the environment around you. So they interact with the light, they have depth, dimension, so they cast shadows, and if you're moving them back or front, the field of view is going to be proper, the blur and things like that. That is, in my opinion, a really amazing implementation. Now, there are 3D cameras and depth sensors, so you have the ability to take true three-dimensional pictures or videos, and viewing them with the Vision Pro will just be an amazing experience, since you will be reliving that exact moment, and that will be very near to the real one. And the Vision Pro will also work with Apple accessories like your keyboard and mouse, and it can also work with the Mac seamlessly. So you just have to point your Vision Pro to your Mac, and that will pop up on your Vision Pro. So a great, again, like Apple always does, great integration between all its products. Now, of course, you can do FaceTime calls here, and you might think, how is my face going to be shown? So the best part is an avatar of your version will be shown to the other side. And the way you set this up is simple. So while you set up your Vision for the first time, you are going to be scanning your face, and with its amazing sensors and cameras, it is going to be doing a 3D scan and make an original looking avatar of you. So that is what is going to be shown on the other side of the video call. And finally, when it comes to the audio, the best thing about the spatial audio here is that it can detect the objects around you. So the sound will bounce accordingly to the size and the material of the object. So it will give a realistic representation of the sound with the objects around you. And finally, you do get an external battery with this that you can carry around, and that will give you an additional 2 hours battery life. Now, I don't know if it is a separate accessory or not, but yeah, it is claimed to give 2 hours of extra battery life. So these are the features that Apple explained in the keynote, and I think these are amazing, and I'm pretty sure there'll be even more features to talk about. So maybe that's for a separate video when this finally launches. But with that said, let's move on to the use cases. And once I saw this, the number one thing that struck my mind is the use of the Vision Pro for people like architects, civil engineers, and interior designers. They can actually view their creation in real time. Just make it up in a software, and they can apply it to the real world building, and that is going to be a really huge advantage for them. And same goes to people like fashion designers or car designers, or even any product designer in general. It's going to be really useful. And finally, this can also be used for students, and of course, apart from work and stuff like that, watching movies on this is going to be amazing, since if you want, you can have it on a 40-inch screen, or if you want, you can scale it all the way up to 100-inch, 150-inch screen, and you are going to have a really amazing experience when it comes to entertainment. And of course, there are a lot of other use cases. If you know anything, put that in the comments below. With this said, it is time for my opinion. So when I take a look at the Vision Pro, I think this is the start of something really great, something that will become really popular in, say, 10 years time. So back in 2007, when the iPhone launched, of course, it was revolutionary. People didn't really understand it. They didn't really understand smartphones, touch screen devices. But once people started buying, more people started buying, they would have recommended to other people. People saw that, and see, after like 16 years, we are at a stage where like literally a lot of people have smartphones. Like a majority of people have smartphones, and I think this is a product that is going to shine in years to come. And of course, it is $3,500, but I think it is a reasonable price, because there definitely had to be a lot of R&D, and of course, Apple themselves know not many people are going to buy that. So in order to go equal with the amount of money they spent with this, they had to price, and I think it is a fair deal. And if more people start buying this in coming years, of course, it is going to be reducing in price. Other than that, I really have to say I am impressed with this product. There have been a lot of other announcements in this keynote, but this by far is the best in my opinion. So what do you think about the Vision Pro? Let me know in the comments below. With that said, thanks for watching, and this here is Suman signing off once again. Catch you later.